Where's my other? I don't. Do I not have it? Oh wait, I do. It'll take 5 minutes while I just change the thumbnail on the thing. Just yeah. Okay. So in the rather large and perhaps unforgiving city of Derlight, there was an a tinker, an artificer of sorts, whose fame was beyond most others. This man was the head artificer of the city. He was also above all a decently kind man, at least as kind as you can be in a city like this. So, with his absence in these few months, Peter, you have been going back through his laboratory, back to your house, moving stuff, and sort of trying to trace anything that you can find of him. So as you enter his apartment, you've been doing this for about a month-ish. Tonight is the night of the full moon. As you enter the room, you feel the air of the room seems to be eerie and different from how it usually is. Peter, roll me either an investigation or an arcana check, whichever one you would like to.
I might just want to use that investigation with +7. Maybe. Wow.
Yep. With the 7, you can. You've been in this room quite a few times. You recognize like all the things that are in here. The light of the moon seems to reflect on everything weird. As you walk around the room, you make your way over to his table, the one where he would usually work on everything. And you see the light of the moon sort of refracting through his glass, the glass that he looks through, like the. You go with I can't English this morning. There's looking glass like the moon's light reflects in onto his table, where you see a single sigil. You see the sigil, you recognize it to be similar to the sort of runic language that he uses to make his artifice. What would you like to do?
What did I see again? It's like really hard to hear. Don't lie. Yeah. Oh my god, my ears.
So, yeah, Nico, would you like to? No, sorry, Peter, what would you like to do?
Uh. Yeah, go
You approach it and nothing changes. He just lays there, glowing on the table. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Can you repeat that? I don't
Uh,
know why. I just anything.
okay, so basically, you're in his room. You see this sort of moonlight like reflect weird on things, and the light sort of goes through his glass, the glass that like he uses, and it reflects onto the table, to one spot, showing a sigil. So, like to do. You see, okay. Hey, let me just make a noise stuff.
Can I read the sigil?
Sure.
Yay.
Arcana.
Arcana.
Or history, if you're willing to
Woo.
do that. Well, you've seen this sigil before, but this sigil usually is used with a bunch of other sigils. It's You've seen it used in like a bunch of common sort of enchantments.
Common enchantments. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh.
but it's usually with a bunch of other sigils. It's almost never used alone. You don't know what that D1 sigil means, but you know like
That it, that
it
means
could be
it's like
used for
more
stuff like
of a
opening
test.
doors and stuff like that. Stuff that's pretty common, like opening doors. What else? Like moving objects, stuff like that.
Hmm. uh. Can I touch it?
Yeah. As you touch it, the light sort of glows on top of your hand instead. You look under your hand, like the sigil. You can't see the sigil anymore.
Oh. Okay.
So when you move your hand back out, the sigil's back there. It only appears under the light.
Hmm. Uh.
You guys will hear a bit of background noise. Don't worry too much about it.
What am I gonna do with that? I don't know. Try check if there are more sigils.
How would you like to check if there are more sigils?
Um. Well, since I only appear under the light, wouldn't they already show up? But I guess it's kind of
No.
annoying.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain the way this room is a bit more. Uh, there's like a window that's decently far away. But the glass of like the artificer's glass
Oh,
is angled
okay.
to where it would shine a light onto that one spot on the table.
Do I
There's like a
have?
separate light for the table.
I don't have a light spell. I have detect magic though.
There's a separate light spell, but like the glass is reflecting it onto that one spot.
Hmm. Can I turn on the lights? Is there a light switch?
If you turn on the light, with this light being stronger than the one being reflected through the glass, the sigil disappears.
What? Uh.
Making D&D players solve simple puzzles.
What the fuck? Why am I why am I the only one here? Tries.
Hey,
Um.
if Noel or Lime, if you guys have any idea as to how to solve it and you just want to
Help.
help Abe out, that's fine
I'm
by me.
supposed to be the. I have freaking +3 in intelligence. I can't figure shit out.
Exactly, that's why I gave you the puzzle.
I know, I'm not even 100% what's actually going on right now.
There's sigils on desk, and I'm supposed to figure out what the fuck they mean. I think question mark.
This is a real bad question, but what's a sigil?
Like magical writing.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
magical writing.
oh, cool.
Magic,
Oh.
and it only shows up in the light, but only like lower light, I guess, because the light switch
By
light
the way, it's
seems to.
specifically full moon, and so the light from that is why it's different. Usually, you've been here night
Is it
before.
sunlight specifically? Should I just move the desk into the sunlight?
Strength check.
Okay. Yay! Strength check. I was a 0.
If you're able to make it,
Wow! Buff!
that's. Wait, isn't it the 16?
Yeah, it's a 16.
You sort of
It's on
shift
point.
the table towards the light so that like all the light from the window hits it, and you see an entire line of sigils appear.
Yay!
Now that you've solved it, I'm going to reveal what that was. It. I said that it's like a glass instrument that you use, that like artificers use. You can move those, right?
Yeah.
You could have just moved the glass to see the rest of the sentence.
We.
Anyway, you've brute forced your way through it. If it works, it works. So as the line of sigils appear, you realize that it's a sigil that sort of not a sigil anymore. It's a line of runes that would make a door open, a door that's usually not visible by the eye. And you realize something. You've never used detect magic in this room. If you ever want to, you could.
Hey, hey, I have that spell. Wow.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do that.
So
Okay.
you cast detect magic, and you see. Detect magic doesn't require a roll, but all right. Wait, what did you roll for that?
I don't really know, honestly.
Was it an Arcana roll? I think that was right.
Strange. I don't
You
know
know
what
what?
I'm doing.
Since you rolled high on Arcana, I'll say you don't even need to use detect magic. All right, there you go.
We.
You rolled a 25 on Arcana. I'm not gonna make you use up your detect magic by that point. So as you sort of touch the table, now under like the full light of the moon, you can see that the sigils sort of glow as you take a small step back to see how this, like, what's happening. You sort of see like a line of magic being pulled from the sigils all the way towards a wall. All that's not completely empty. There's like a bunch of junk like sort of pushed up against it. But now that you've seen it, a line. I just realized, yeah, it does sound like a lime. Uh, yeah, it leads to a wall that's sort of one of the more clear walls in this area. Like it's one of the more areas that has less junk and such pushed against it.
Less junk means door. Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. All right, what would you like to do?
We're gonna figure out how to open this door, I guess. Okay. I have the sigils, right? They're on the clear thing.
On the table, yes.
Oh, they're on the table. Do I have to like read it?
Uh,
No, right?
no. Okay, so I'm gonna explain a bit more of how like shit rooms like these work. Basically, the table is like a switch to open the door. You just have to figure out how the table works as a switch.
Move the lamp, cause it's light related. Funny. Are they like drawers? You have to open the drawers in a specific way.
Okay. So there's one large drawer like right below the table. There's two smaller drawers like on the sides.
On the sides, like you mean like
Like they open
direct?
toward the side. There's like two small
Oh,
drawers that open toward the side, and there's like a decently large drawer that opens in the middle. And that's all the drawers on this table.
we're gonna open the left one, right? Left one.
As you pull the one to the left, you hear nothing.
No, one on the right.
Do you push the one on the left back in?
Uh, yeah.
Okay, you pull the one on the right. You hear a shifting sound.
Oh, I think that's good. I think I should keep that out. Keep that one out. We should do. Should I try the left one again? Try the left one again.
You pull the left one out. No shifting noise.
Okay, that's going back in. We're doing the middle and then the left one.
You
I
pull
almost
the
gave
middle
up.
one out. Also no shifting noise.
Cards. Maybe it's just a right one. We just keep the right one out. The right one, then we check around the room.
It's done by the order of how they're pulled out. So if you pull the wrong one out, you'll have to start from the start.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Right?
Right, okay. You pull it out.
Uh,
You hear the shifting noise
middle,
again. You pull out the middle one. You hear another shifting noise.
and then left.
Then you pull the one on the left. You see the runes that are glowing on the table,
Hey.
like glow even brighter, and then they disappear and follow the line. You see the wall sort of shift backwards, and like full on. Do you know who MC Escher is? Like, think MC Escher painting. Like the bricks in the wall like move away. Some of them move towards the top. As you walk in, like it's a decently small hallway that leads to a pretty small room. There's just a circular room, and in the middle, one singular metallic box.
Box, Is there like light? Is it a dark room? It just shows light shining on the metal box. Seems like
It is a room that's like, it looks decently lit, but you don't really see any sources of light.
dang, it's just a metal box.
So you can see that there is a metal box, but it's not lit up enough to where like you can see like all the corners or anything. It's just like,
How big is it? Is it like palm size or like?
it is. It would be palm size for like a Goliath.
Jeez.
So like you have to
Okay.
like carry it with both hands because you're way smaller. Like a human, it could pass for like uh hmm, how do I explain this? It's like the size-ish of a like average human head.
Oh, that's not very palm
So
size.
like it's smaller than a kobold's head,
Hmm.
but it's also like about the same size as your entire body. Because kobolds are like built extremely weirdly.
I can't carry this. Uh,
You could try.
I don't know.
You could certainly
I
try.
can I can try. You know what? Let's try. Woo! Strike check.
So like, yeah, nah, you don't need a strength check for this. So like, it's on the ground. You sort of lift it off the ground, like expecting it to be extremely heavy. You like put both hands around it. You try and lift it up. It is extremely light. It
Really? Wow.
feels
Okay.
l- like less light than what it would feel like if it was empty.
I'm just buff. Easy.
Like you lift, like you were gauging like how heavy like the metal would be and like whatever is inside would be. It's lighter than what you expected just the metal alone to be.
Well, I'm gonna get out of there because it's fairly dark. There might be stuff on the box. Out of there into the sunlight. Did I turn off the lights, guys?
9:45.
I'd say Peter
Yeah,
is pretty scared of the dark, but he has dark
9:45.
vision, so that's
Hey, what were you saying?
huh?
Uh,
It's
I was talking to my aunt for a
yeah,
bit.
yeah. I'm gonna leave the room so I can look at it further because there's light.
Yeah. Where do you put
Yeah.
it to like look at it, or what do you do with it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put it where the sigils were because it's in the sunlight, and that sounds like a good idea.
Moonlight, yeah, it's a full moon. Yeah, close
Let's
enough.
go.
So you put it in the moonlight. You see more runes on it. However, these are runes that you've almost never seen before. Like a few of them are runes that are like on their own make sense. There's like a rune of protection, a rune of locking, but then there's like three other runes that are on like different sides of the box that you don't know. Like
Is
you've
it
never
a
seen them being used before,
is it like a
and they don't
lock
even
box?
look to be like the same style as the other runes. Uh, hey, what were you saying?
Is it like a lock box? It's
Uh,
like a lock box protection. It's a box.
okay, I'm gonna
I
describe this
assume
box slightly
I'm just
more.
gonna assume that there's something inside it because it's a metal box and it's
Yes.
very light. Kind of weird.
Like when you lift it up, you can hear a bit of shifting. You know there's something inside. However, the entire box itself is so light that it feels like there's nothing inside, but you can hear like shifting and stuff that shows you that there is probably something inside. So
Yay.
I'm gonna explain how the runes on the box look a bit more detailed. Also, I was just notified by my aunt that I have to be ready in like our 20-something minutes to leave the house, which is fortunate, but I can make this work. Alright. So the box has runes on all sides. Think of it as like you know those like D6 cubes, right?
Yeah.
Like the regular dice, yeah. So like on one side, let's say the 6, you see 3 runes in a language that you don't understand. On all the other sides, you see 1 rune that makes sense to you, or like at least you know that it links to the other runes in some way, shape, or form. Those 3 runes are in a different font. Font in like the Artificer Magic style font, not as in like it's in Comic Sans.
It's in cursive. Let's go.
Yes, let's go. It's in Wingding. But yeah, those three, you don't understand. The other ones make sense, like Rune of Locking, Rune of Protection. And there is even one that, like, it feels a bit odd, but you sort of remember it. It's a Rune of Anti-Magic. And a Rune of...
Anti-magic.
It's a rune that stops magic inside from leaking out and stops magic from leaking in. But those 3 runes in the front, you don't know what they are. You can try to do stuff with it, but you don't know what they are. Also,
I'm gonna
if you
roll it
leave,
on the floor like a dice.
if you leave the like light area, those 3 like runes in the front, you can still sort of see them, like they glow a slight light. And outside of the like moonlight, they glow slight red. But inside the moonlight, it just glows white like the rest of the runes. Also, you're gonna roll it like a dice, okay? How hard you roll it?
Not too hard. Maybe just like like roll from my hand, you know,
Okay,
not
yeah.
like a toss or anything.
Roll me a d6.
Okay. Hey, look, it's a 6.
Hey,
This is scary.
you're extremely lucky. You roll the box down as it lands on the 3 red runes. You see the box sort of like shift open, and the top part, the part with the 3 runes, it's like its own separate metal plate. It just slides open. And inside, you see a singular note and a odd looking uh it's an odd looking, how do I explain this shape? It's like it it's like an oval if you gave an oval spikes. It's this reddish hue. It looks a bit weathered, but like the general shape of it is an oval. You see a note inside. As you pick up the note, that's where we're gonna cut to the next person. Let's go. You'll find out what that note says next session. Okay, so the other 2 are gonna have to be a bit more quick.
That is the meanest cliffhanger I've ever seen.
Oh, I've had worse cliffhangers. I've had people walk into boss rooms, see like this giant boss, who like who just like walk up to them, say like 2 words, and I'll be like, And that's where we're gonna continue from next session.
You're evil.
Yay.
I am. Right, next up is slime.
Oh shit. Okay.
On an average Thursday evening, where would Thompson be?
Sorry. What was that?
On an
Where's
average
Tom's?
Thursday evening, where would Thompson
Um. Really walking around the streets, stealing from stores. You know.
be? Okay, yeah.
So I guess on the streets.
Roll me a general sleight of hand or stealth.
What would that be? Just a D20, right?
D20 plus whatever your sleight of hand is. Sleight of hand is dexterity. If you're proficient in it, you add a +2.
Dexterity. Okay, so +1.
Wait, let me just check if you have proficiency. I don't believe you do, but I will still check. Thompson or
Sorry, every roll will take a while because I'm just
no
very confused
worries,
with everything.
no worries. I realized that I spent way too much time on page historian, so I'm gonna shift it a bit to include
No
the
lie.
both of you two, so that I feel like a good DM.
Sorry, just a D20 +1.
Let me just check real quick for you. You have proficiency in sleight of hand, so it's a +3.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
You try to like find stuff to steal, but the fact that it's a full moon doesn't help your sunglasses. Well, they're not sunglasses, but they're tinted glasses, which means
God,
whenever
my
there's
cool
more
red
light
shade.
than you expect there to be, you can barely see anything.
Why am I wearing shades in the evening?
You don't
My
know,
turn.
but it looks cool.
True, it does
Like
look
you
cool.
know it looks cool from the outside, but you can't see anything from the inside.
Oh yeah,
You can see jack all from the inside.
it's worth. It's worth it. Trust
From
me.
the outside, like the like tinted glasses, because of how red they are. Like you know those like bloom lighting, right? That like most glasses have, like sunglasses and stuff. Like the bloom lighting is red because of everything. So like it looks really cool from the outside, but you're basically a blind person on the inside. You're walking around with your eyes closed because you don't want to hurt your eyes at this point.
I shine in morning. 12 p.m. is my shit.
It's like exactly at the point of like sunrise or sunset. That's the time where you can actually see.
Yeah.
Every other time you're absolutely blind with the glasses on. So like you can't exactly steal stuff. You're looking around for stuff. Like you passed a few shops that you've stolen from before. But they seem to have like 2 or 3 more guards than you're willing to handle right now. Most of the stores that you've stolen from have like higher security at this point. So you're not probably gonna take that risk unless you want to.
Oh,
You go on.
absolutely not.
Nah, all right, fair enough. So you return back to your so uh, where do you live? How do you live?
Um,
Describe your sort of
I don't have a home. I just kind of, kind of homeless.
yeah, but where do all the stuff you steal go?
Oh, I guess in an alleyway, just like
Yeah.
random alleyway
in the
in
trash
the middle of town.
cans. In the trash can. You're Oscar the Grouch.
Fine, I'm Oscar the Grouch. I live in the trash cans.
Oh.
You go into the alleyway that you usually are, and you see 2 large, shadowy figures sort of hovering as in like they're standing, not as in like they're physically hovering. I should clarify because it's a
Oh,
fantasy
okay,
game. Sometimes I realize that the words I use can mean other things. Like they're sort of like staring down at your pile of stolen stuff. You see one of them like This is outside of where the light would usually reach, but you can see from the like shadowy, blurry figures that one of them has like a baseball bat, and the other one you can't exactly see what they have. It's too dark at that end, and they seem to be looking at at your stuff. What would you like to do?
I immediately run away.
As you start running away, like the tapping of your shoes on the floor, you hear them both turn around. They're chasing you. They're quicker than you.
Uh-oh. This isn't good.
How do you want to try and shake them off?
I want to run into the first store I see and duck straight behind a counter.
As you duck into the first store you see, you look at the store owner. The store owner looks at you. You recognize them.
Oh, God.
And then you see, like, one guy standing at the door. He just goes, no, that's not happening again. Just pull you by the scruff of your neck and throw you back out. Back into the... and immediately you get caught by the two arts guys that were standing outside your place.
Can I try and persuade them to just let me go?
I believe
I wanna try.
you can do it.
This DC is absurdly high. What is your deception modifier?
Let's see.
I'm thinking of a number right now. I just want to know if it's physically possible for you to reach it. If it's not, I might lower it a bit.
Oh, +5.
Oh my god.
It is physically possible for you to reach it, but it has to be a natural 20. I was thinking of 25. If you want to try, you can certainly try.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Today's not your lucky day.
Yep.
It is. It is not.
You see one of them like smirk a bit, as if, and they pull you back into your alleyway. They tie you onto like one of like it's not a chair. It's like not even a stool at this point. Like one of the legs is missing, one part of the back is missing. Like it's a three-legged stool that, like three-legged chair that has no back at this point. Like you've used it to beat up a bunch of people in the past and like stuff. So you get tied onto it. And as you see the two people, you see that they have on their, like they're wearing these like pinstripe suits, and on where like the pocket area on like a shirt would usually be, you see a symbol. The symbol is like it looks like a metal pin that's put on, and the pin is this. Okay, how do I explain the shape? It looks like a smile, basically. Like it's like this like curved up triangle that has like sharp teeth inside of it.
Being hunted by the Joker's goons.
There you go. The one with the padlocks, of course. So I've heard that you've been stealing from some of the stores protected by our people. And as you know, that won't fly under our radar. In fact, that won't fly at all. So, with those words, you recognize who these people are. This is the mafia that runs like almost this entire district that you live in.
Uh-oh.
They've not exactly made your life easy to like steal stuff because they protect a bunch of the stores here. Yeah.
What do I do here?
So, this mafia sort of runs this area of the city. They've not made your life easy. In fact, for the last, like, a month or so since you've started stealing a bit more stuff than you usually did. Like, it used to just be, pickpocketing and stuff, but you got a bit desperate. You started stealing from stores, like, the past few months. And you know that these guys have been on your trail. These guys are, like, they have protection on a bunch of these stores. And so as soon as somebody steals from that, it's their responsibility to either return the goods or, like, pay for it, basically.
Oh, that's. Oh.
So they've been making your life a living hell, because you've been making theirs a living hell.
So I'm tied up, right?
You are tied up.
Can I just, like... Oh. Can I try and stand up with the chair still attached to me, like, bent over?
No, you definitely can.
Okay.
But the guy just, like, pushes you back down and goes, "It's not happening."
Damn it. That was my only plan.
That was your only plan. Wait, are you saying that, like, out loud in character, or are you saying that as Lime?
Yep. Ah, shite. That was my only plan. Damn it.
And he goes, "If it were up to me, I would get rid of you by now. However, the boss wants to have a word.
The boss.
And I don't want to be on the boss's bad side. So I'm required to bring you to the boss."
It's always a boss with you guys. Why don't you just, like... Can't you just kill him? Like, I'm not stealing from you. I'm stealing from the companies you own. What's your deal?
You think nobody has tried to kill the boss? You see this guy, like, laughing. That man has no bodyguards. That should give you enough reason as to why he's not dead yet.
Oh.
He lets people try and kill him.
Alright, well, I guess the only option I have here is to just comply with them and let them take me to this boss they are talking about.
Okay.
But on the way, I want to annoy the hell out of them.
So they do, like, the extremely cliche thing of putting, like, a paper bag over your head. But, like, the paper bag isn't exactly the best of conditions because they found it in your pile. Like, it probably held, like, I don't know, potatoes or something before this.
No,
so, like, you can, like, see through it if you, like, squint enough. So you see, like, these two sort of, like, lift you from the chair, realize that you're tied to the chair, remove the tying on the chair, and then tie you back up regularly. And then they just, like, lift you all the way there. It's like the whole way, because, like, they're lifting you up, like, the large guy's lifting you above his shoulder. Like, all you're really seeing is, like, your own feet. Just over.
The whole way there, I want to tell him terrible knock-knock jokes.
Charisma check.
Just to annoy the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Charisma?
Charisma check to see how much you annoy them. Charisma doesn't always mean a positive thing. You can use your charisma in a negative way to annoy people, to do stuff like that. At least that's how I usually run it.
17.
They're annoyed as hell, but they can't say anything. Because as soon as they try to do something, they're on they're on the boss's bad side. You see, like, you can sort of, like, squint upwards and, like, see the guy that's lifting you. You see him physically disgruntled at having to, like, deal with you. You see him, like, he pulls out like you know those like corks that you put on wine into bottles and stuff, right? Like he pulls two of those out and puts those in his ears.
Well, I
The
just
other one
keep
is like
doing that
walking
until
decently far away and is pretending to not hear you. Although like every time you say a bad joke, you can see him like physically wince as well. Like you can barely see anything out of like the paper bag, but you can imagine what their facial expressions look like.
Oh, I love this. This is awesome. All right. Well,
They'd
as long as
rather
we do
deal with this
earplugs.
hell than deal with whatever hell the boss will give them if they let you go. So, as you're brought to this shady area of the town, they realize how thin the paper bag is, and they like turn the bag to a side where you can't see anything anymore. You're led through. You
Dang.
hear a bunch of muffled noises. You hear doors opening, and then you feel a like loud sound, and you feel something across the back of your head. You black out. When you come back
They
awake,
want people
Oh man, I
back.
was gonna make such a good pun about that.
when you come back, the paper bag in front of your face is lifted off. You're under a spotlight, tied to a chair, and like in the shadows, you can see like the smile. Like it doesn't look humanly possible because you can see like his figure, and like his smile is like extremely wide, but also like all of his teeth are extremely sharp to the point where you know he's probably not human, but you can't tell what he is. And as he approaches you, you see the color red, and that's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
Yeah.